And now, live from the Neverland Theatre, your host, Gary Starr.
Stage 2. Stream.
Hello, a very good evening to you. Welcome to StageToStream.tv, coming to you live from the Neverland Theatre here in the wonderful town of Skeg Vegas. Happy Friday. Hope you've had a great day. Welcome one and all, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Stop right now and join in the chat this evening. It's all happening. We've got two cracking guests this evening. Of course, we've got right-hand Ruthie joining us and top banter this evening. Now, once again, before we start, what we're going to ask you to do is quite simply get social. So if you're out there right now, drop us a comment, drop us a like that there, just above there. Anthony Stubbins is just like the stream, so welcome, Anthony. That's what you've got to do. Like the page, follow the page, and of course, if you're feeling very generous, give it a share. All interactions help us as well, so give us a thumbs up or a love heart. Any of those things would be wonderful. Now, let's find out what's on tonight. Live on Stage to Stream tonight, Tom Rolfe and JJ. It's all happening tonight, live here from the Neverland Theatre. Yes, there we go. A cracking night for you this evening, and two fabulous guests to round off Friday. Now, don't forget as well, we're back on Monday from 6 p.m. We've got some wonderful guests next week. Yes, so make sure you join us once again from Monday. But right now, you know what time it is. We know what time it is. It's time for Right Hand Ruthie.
Right hand Ruthie, right hand Ruthie.
Right hand Ruthie.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a new like above your head.
Oh.
Yvette Pepper has liked the stream.
Hello, Yvette.
Hello, Yvette. There we go. Yes, just going to point out Ryan Wilson, Ryan, Tom Rolfe of Tom Rolfe Productions. That is correct. Yes, just to answer that little question before we start. So, Ruthie, how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm really good today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why? What's happening?
Well, because it's been really sunny, hasn't it?
Not in here, it's not.
Well, in rooms with windows it has been.
Right,
and
okay.
outside it has been.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know when you hear like lawnmowers in like really early in the morning and aeroplanes when they go, oh.
There's no grass around here. Who's the lawnmower in?
Definitely heard a lawnmower.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah. Well, it's just the sounds of summer, isn't it?
The soundtrack to summer
It's
is
exciting.
a lawnmower in a place where no one has any grass. Strange. It's all concrete, but maybe just, people
Yeah,
like
that's true. I didn't think of that.
mowing concrete.
Ah,
I don't know.
it's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's all good though, isn't it? Happy days. So, so what have you been up to today? Apart from admiring the sun and the lawnmowers.
This and that.
Does that mean you've been doing nothing?
Not a lot today, to be fair.
No.
No, I was going to go back and do some more in the costume place, and then looked at it and thought, no, just backed away from it and left it. So that happened. Oh, I did brush the dog. One of the dogs.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Productive day and top banter.
Yeah.
So, Ruthie, you're in social media corner, which means
Yeah.
we need to get social because I see the chat is going crazy tonight.
Is it?
Yeah,
Let me
well,
have a look.
apparently so. Are you on the right chat? Because last night you weren't, so let's hope you are. Remember, StageToStream.tv is where you need to be on Facebook to find Right Hand Ruthie. Here she is.
Here I am.
Are you there, Ruth?
I'm here.
Okay. What do they need to do, first of all, for those that haven't yet done so? What do they need to do to get in touch with you?
Right, well, there's lots of things you can do.
There is.
But we prefer you to pop into StageToStream.tv on Facebook. Come into the chat, say hi, give me a wave. Say hello, tell me where you're from. Something fun about you. Why not? Or, alternatively, send me a message into my inbox. Or, I've got WhatsApp as well. Everything's in the way. WhatsApp or text. Gary?
Yeah.
What's the number?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. 07510 followed by 891 then 005. Let's get social.
What was that number again?
That's 07510
Of course.
followed by 891 then 005.
Yeah, there we go. You see,
Yeah.
there you go. It's that's good. Yeah, people are waiting for that now. They're waiting for that moment, for that jingle. It's so catchy.
Do you know which one's been in my head all day?
Is it about your favourite drums?
Yeah.
What are your favourite drums, Ruth?
Steel drums.
Steel drums are my favourite drum.
Just can't get enough of that. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. It's handy.
Steel drums are my favourite drum.
Yeah, it makes you dance every time, doesn't it? It's good. Yeah, happy days.
there you go.
Ah, yes. Yeah, so it's time to get social.
Let's get social. I'm just going to draw your attention to the chat. Tommy J's popped in.
Hey.
Was Gary just trimming his beard? What were you doing?
When?
I don't know. He's just said it 2 minutes ago. What were you doing 2 minutes ago? Retrace your steps.
Opening the show.
You're just trimming your beard? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, the lawnmower.
Ah.
Must be the lawnmower. Oh, that took a while.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say again?
Maybe you were just trimming your beard.
Oh, wait, here we go.
What?
Oh, Tommy.
Do you know what? He takes his takes his comedy from me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's just for you, Tommy.
Yeah. The lawnmower.
I've never had to use that one before, so, I couldn't find it, but now I know where it is.
Harry Stedman. Hi, Harry. He's forgotten the number, Gary.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous. Let's tell them one more time, shall we, Ruthie?
Yes.
07510 followed by 891, then 005. Let's get social.
What was that number again?
That's 07510
Of course.
followed by 891, then 005.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you know. If you don't know, you can jump into Ruth's inbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone has. Hooray!
Oh, is somebody in your box?
Somebody has sent me a message.
Excellent.
Oh, well done.
Thanks.
I've got to find it though.
You do that, and that's that. Well done. So yeah, if you want to jump into Ruth's
doesn't
box,
tell me
then
who it
send
is.
her a message.
Don't know who you are.
Well, we
are
don't know
you?
who they are.
Oh no.
What's the message?
Well, I look glam apparently.
Oh, there you go.
Hooray!
Secret admirer.
Excited for Mr. Rolfe tonight. I think we all are.
Yeah,
I've never met him.
I've not.
I've heard so much about him, so
I
I
met
feel
him
like I
today.
know him. But I've never met him.
Yeah,
so
he
I'm very
does.
excited.
He does good panto productions and good shows.
Good shows.
Yes, so he's definitely welcome on this show. Do you know who that's from, Ruth?
No.
Okay.
say.
So what we need you to do, obviously, because we don't have your phone number, right? Yeah. When you text or WhatsApp in, make sure that you put your name on it.
There's a picture. So what does that mean? Why is there a picture? I don't know.
Depends what it's of.
I don't know.
If somebody's sending you a message,
like a
right?
profile picture.
All right. I was going to say, if somebody's sending you a message and
Ryan Wilson.
and it's got a picture with it and it says you look good tonight.
It's Ryan Wilson. He's got a good bow tie on. I appreciate that. It's very good. You got your wet trumpets out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go then. So that's good then.
Yeah.
So so who's in the chat tonight? We've got Nigel Harvey in there tonight. Hello, Nigel.
Hi, Nigel.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hope you're well. I'm going to have a look at your videos, by the way. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm having
Carl
a look at
Lawrence, he's popped in. He said, hello. Genius.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Carl Lawrence, welcome to Stage to Stream. Welcome back. It's 2 nights in a row. You may have been here before, but tonight you're social.
Mr. Burton. Hello, Mr. Burton. Looking forward to seeing Tom again. It's been a while.
Hello, David. Hope you're well.
Lots of people popping in to say hi. But
That's
not
all
enough.
happening. No.
Not enough.
We need more people, don't we?
We do need more people.
Lots more people to
Kelly
join us.
Rogan. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Hope you're well. It's been far too long. We need to talk soon.
We do.
Definitely.
Kelly, you should come on here because your act is amazing.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
that.
We've got space next week.
Drop me a message.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something really exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a long time ago, I was in a show with a young man from Neighbours. I'm not going to say who, but there's a good possibility. We've just got to work out timelines and stuff, but that may be on the cards.
Ah.
So
I know who
that's
it is,
exciting.
and I'm very excited.
So am I. So this could be good, yeah. So we've just got to arrange logistics, but that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks. Anybody else out there having a chat this evening?
Sorry, I was just reading them.
Harry Stedman said, "How come?
I was reading.
How come Gary has more mascara on than Ruth every night? It's not mascara. It's guyliner.
Guy liner.
I don't have any mascara on.
Oh.
I naturally have good eyelashes.
Do you know what? Males normally do.
Not all males.
No, but males normally do. They normally have thicker, longer hair as well, naturally.
Well, there you go.
Just a bit annoying, really.
Top banter. Steve Nichols is in the chat.
Hi,
Evening all.
Steve.
Hi, Steve. Hope you're well. Hope it's going well over there.
JJ's popped in. Looking forward to seeing JJ.
JJ's in the
Hello.
chat. Hello. Excellent.
Kelly, you're making me blush. No, it's true, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's good. Very good show.
We need Kelly to come on.
We do.
Maybe next week. I think we've got 2 spaces left next week, is it?
We've got some space on Friday.
It's a full week next week, isn't it, already?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're now looking at booking in advance. True story.
Yes, Kelly. Look, it's all right. We're booking it in now. Look, she's on. She's on.
Oh, good.
What are you doing next Friday, Kelly? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Wonderful. No, it is good. It's nice to see people, and it's nice. You know what? I like this because when I come here, and then it's like I've got extra friends in my.
Well,
It's good, isn't it?
it's like something to do, isn't it? Seeing as you've done absolutely nothing all day apart from brush a dog.
Well, I mean, that's not. I did normal work like housework stuff, cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
And particularly since pretty much all the dogs are molting now, there's a lot of hoovering to be done.
Yeah.
So much hoovering.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done that. I've just not necessarily done any other work. I've sent a few emails, but that's it.
Sent a few emails.
Yeah. The rest of it just generally revolved around picking up dog fluff.
Well, it's once again, Ruth, it is absolute top banter, I have to say. It's Friday. Who'd have thought it?
Do you know what? It's the last show of February.
Is it?
Yeah, because Monday is the 1st of March. It's my brother's birthday on the 1st of March.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
That's exciting. Go on.
guess whose birthday it is today?
Ellie's.
Ellie Pickering.
Did I steal your thunder there? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
No.
Happy birthday, Ellie Pickering.
Happy birthday, Ellie Pickering. Yes. We need to see you again soon. We've got work to do.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be allowed to do it soon. That's exciting.
We are going to be allowed to, to get everyone together more and more. Well, we've still got work to do even now because we can get people together. But we just have to do it socially, distanced.
Be careful.
Be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost time for our first guest this evening.
Ooh.
Very exciting indeed. Yes. But first, before we meet him,
Yeah.
let's have a little look at his company, Tom Rolfe Productions.
Tom Rolfe Productions, the home of quality family entertainment.
Don't worry, boys and girls. I'm sure everything will be just fine. After all, that's the magic of pantomime.
We are the experts at fresh, fast-paced, engaging shows across the UK.
Right, my name's Billy. What's my name?
Featuring stunning scenery, beautiful costumes, as well as a dream cast and crew to ensure hilarious comedy.
Yogi, yogi! Could I have some flour, please? Yes, I can!
Not forgetting sensational singing and amazing special effects. What more could you need?
Ferocious bears? We're not ferocious bears. We're friendly bears.
Finkelstein's the name. I own a circus. The biggest stands the best show in town.
Hello, I'm Buttons. What's my name?
Vibrant artwork, high-quality print, and effective marketing ensure our drive towards capacity audiences.
For I'm the evil baddie, the one you hiss and boo.
And from now on, Cinders, you shall be known as Princess Starlight.
So get the wow factor. Tom Rolfe Productions.
Yes, and a very good evening to Tom Rolfe. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening.
Wonderful to see you, and wonderful to see that video because so many familiar faces and voices popping up in that made me smile greatly.
Yeah, there'll be a few familiar faces or familiar voices when you can't see the faces.
Absolutely. No, it's wonderful. Now, we've got loads to talk about this evening because obviously you're a show and pantomime producer. You've got something rather exciting coming up that we're going to talk about as well. But let's just give everybody a bit of back history about you, how you got into the business. You tell us all about you.
Well, I started off as a dancer, but I can't dance. As knows me, really knows I really can't dance. So I started off in pantomime in Billingham, dancing in Dougie Chapman's pantomimes, and with the local theatre school up in for Sue and Steve up at Billingham Forum, and speciality act Andrew Van Buren appeared in the pantomime one year. I remember thinking, well, that looks a bit more exciting than me trying to dance. So Andrew kindly between performances got me to pick up some juggling and little bits of Diablo, and then over the next few years I kept practicing. So I've been between shows doing bits of juggling and different circus skills and bits and bobs, and I started doing a few children's parties and events and cabarets and festivals and stuff, and then slowly got into more sort of pantomime world about 5 Easters ago, doing my own show, and was the first one at Easter.
Amazing. One thing I like about this, and this is something that pops up quite a lot when we're talking to people, is those people in the industry that are willing to help. You know what I mean? So like with Andrew Van Buren, we had him on the show last week, week before. But yeah, those wonderful people who go, I tell you what, let me help you with it, which is wonderful to see. You know, it's such it kind of puts you where you are. It's wonderful. So so obviously you did your first Easter panto, and then you set up your own company and started doing your own shows. How have you found that? Obviously before the pandemic.
This was the first one, and if lockdown didn't happen, I wouldn't have to decorate. But we're getting there, slowly filling the wall back up. Hopefully, touch wood. But yeah, just slowly got into sort of Easter ones in February, half term, and the odd summer one.
Yeah.
And then the theatre said, oh, would you come and do a Christmas one? So then slowly, they're still working for the companies at Christmas at the time, and then slowly got into doing a few different bits over at Christmas and things, and little Santa shows. And it's been nice to really a good varied journey. Even during the lockdown, it's made us really kind of do even different stuff with like Santa experiences and Easter bunny visits, and kind of draw on some of the children's entertainment stuff I used to do, and kind of mash that together with the production side to kind of keep going and change what we do and just help keep us on our toes, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how people have adapted and sort of done different things and sort of diversified. Did you still manage to get shows on? You did, didn't you?
Yeah. Mother Goose in Hunstanton.
Yeah.
Under the Princess Theatre, and the Santa Spectacular.
Amazing.
Up here in Yorkshire, that played for its run, but yeah, a few others had to sadly be either postponed or cancelled last year, as people realise. But
it's I mean, it's great to see, there were certain producers out there that just went out there and found a way to do stuff. So it's admirable that you got out there and got them shows on. Like we say, sadly, Christmas was, I think, the big hit for everybody, because we were kind of expecting after, surviving the entire year that, maybe we'd get a show on. And so it was a massive hit, I think, for everybody when suddenly it was Christmas that we all sort of lost.
When the first one, Mother Goose opened in Hunstanton, it'd been the first indoor production. I did the Halloween show.
Yeah.
So touch and go, wasn't it? Is Christmas going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? And when it happened, there was I think about 150 school children all turned up, all wearing baby masks, and they all sat there and washed their hands and sat sensibly eating their ice creams before it started, because there wasn't an interval, of course. And as it started and the mirror ball hit and the house lights went down, I was a blubbering wreck.
Yeah.
Glasses steam up, and I don't think I'm that emotional, but it was just like one, is Christmas happening this year? And for that, at least half a week it did.
Yeah. It was very sad that it all kind of it all very abruptly ended as well, didn't it? I think that was the hardest thing for everybody, is the fact that it was just kind of, you didn't know whether it was going to happen, whether, you know, and then suddenly, no, it's gone, and that's it. It was all just kind of taken away. Very difficult.
Yeah, and I think it's hard at the end of any run, isn't it? If the run's happened, and in general years, when you get to your last show, you've made a lot of friends, and that you know for life, as we all know, meeting friends in this business. And I think when suddenly either you've done your last show and you didn't realise, it's the people who, I think if you know it's your last show tomorrow, it's better than, oh, we're off today and it was our last show yesterday. That must be even harder to kind of not say goodbye to a production. I remember at Billingham when the roof blew off and that got cancelled 2 days before the end, and you feel like you've got to say goodbye to the product, do you?
Yeah.
As a knitted team, and kind of giving it one last belt. But so that must be the hardest thing.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're going to talk about your event that's coming up very shortly indeed. But before we do, what's your sort of plans now? Because it's still kind of, I know people are hoping for sort of June time and beyond. Where are you sort of aiming with what you're doing?
Fingers crossed, all being well. Wizard of Oz is going out for May half term on a little tour. So we're going a little way down the Yellow Brick Road.
Brilliant.
Doing the summer season in Blackpool every Wednesday on the North Pier, which obviously that doesn't start till August, so that'll mean we can hopefully do the full 2-hour version of the show, back to the interval and all guns blazing, and with the social distancing drops, that'll be hopefully a big step in the right direction for the summer.
Have you done the North Pier before? Is this as your first one this year?
2 years ago we did Snow White,
right.
And we did do Wizard of Oz last year,
right?
So it's been jumped on a year, so bits like that are happening. So bits of casting will be getting put out for that in the next week or two.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, it's great, and it's a positive thing. And of course, you're looking to push Panto for Christmas as well. So fingers crossed we can get back to normality. That's kind of my aim, is that hopefully normality will have returned pretty much by Christmas, which is, I think, giving us some time to sort things.
Please.
So tell us about your new event that you're doing now, because that's what we want to, we're gonna drop bits on the chat as well. So once you chat about this, we'll drop it on of how people can get involved. But tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, we're just cautious with people either out working during lockdown, and which they were working, of course, or people have picked up so many different skills during lockdown, or turned their hand to old talents to refresh old skills and things. And I came with the idea of Lockdown's Got Talent, which is a Zoom-friendly talent show. We think after 3 lockdowns, people might be a bit more Zoom savvy.
Yeah.
And where people enter their acts online, so the acts are pre-recorded. So there's not that pressure of live. Will my act go right or wrong? It's more just a bit of fun, really, and they can enter their act online and send that over. But the judging's done live on a live show on the 27th of March this year.
Amazing. So if people want to get involved, they where do they get in contact with?
If they head over to Tom Rowe Productions on Facebook's the easiest way, and there's a link there to register. It's £5 to enter.
Okay.
And win £150 cash prize and a part in a pantomime.
Oh, amazing. I might apply myself.
I might do it work. Yeah.
I'm going to do a double act. Amazing. Right, we've got the link down there as well. So that's in the chat right now. So if you want to get involved with that, sounds great fun. Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to get people involved and get people doing positive things, keep the mind occupied, which I think is most important. There is a way out of this. The light is at the end of the tunnel, as it were. So this is good. Right, I'm going to go to Ruthie because chat is going mental, for want of a better word. So Ruthie, you're over there. Hello.
Hello.
Are you all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm seeing chat going mental, so I'm coming over to you.
Yeah, there's lots of questions.
Yeah, let's hand it over.
Yeah. Right. Hello, Tom. How are you?
Hi.
Hello. Right, we've got lots of questions. First of all, so many people just popping in to say hello. We've got David Burton, we've got Tommy J, loads of people just popping in to say hello. So I thought I'd pass that on first.
Oh, thanks very much. Hi, everyone.
Okay, right. We want to know, pantomime-wise, which is your personal favourite show? And is there a difference between your personal favourite to watch and slightly different one to maybe produce, or are they both the same? Is it just because you like one particular show? Is there a difference?
I think I used to really, I didn't used to be a fan of Cinderella at all. I think it's because it was, as a kid, it was always, the girly one this year. Where's the action, But I really do like Cinderella. But I think a childhood favourite of mine was Jack and the Beanstalk. So I think Jack and the Beanstalk if I was in it, and Cinderella if I was watching it.
Yeah, because you go in your shows as well, don't you, quite a lot?
Fortunately, yeah.
But you don't dance now.
No dancing. No, I usually have to literally in Jack and the Beanstalk. They had these massive dance numbers with everybody. You know, there was all the dancers on and the pro dancers and the principals. And they said, why aren't you in this song? I says, well, it says there I have to take the cow for the walk. So I take the cow for a walk before any major production number. Well, there's usually a convenient costume change just before a medley.
Amazing. That's what I used to do. Any show that I was in, I would either be too tall to do anything dance-wise, so I would be, you know, I'd sort of stand in the middle and let people twirl around, or, like you say, write yourself a convenient way to get off and not be in it. So, yeah, I like that. Ruthie.
Okay, we want to know, has anything ever gone wrong on stage?
Yes.
Oh. And what might they be?
Oh, well, I think my most memorable was in Goldilocks. It was in the dress rehearsal. And the three bears come on. The first time we meet the bears. And it's, you know, pure nursery rhyme. And the stage manager cued the cloth in. But a little bit too early.
No.
And Daddy Bear's head fell off.
Took out the bears.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's what we like. Anything to take Sean out. It's good. Ruthie, back to you.
Okay, what's your favourite panto gag?
Ooh.
Probably if I went up on the stage, I think.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we've ever done that one, in fairness.
We haven't, no.
No.
It's the choreography aspect for you again, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's why I don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
Getting too old to do anything now. Oh, dear.
Have you got a favourite panto gag that's, what should we say? I don't know how to phrase it. You know how we always, obviously with panto gags, you always have the classics, you always have the ghost gags, etc., etc. Are there any out there that might not be done as frequently or as often, that might have gone sort of by the wayside, that you've seen maybe other people do in like older shows that could be brought back?
I remember I was talking about to a friend the other day, actually, the Tiddly Tree gag, where, you know, I don't know if you've seen it, where the comic asks the magic tree for a glass of lemonade, and he gets sprayed in the face, and he tries to trick the next person coming along while they're changing the scenery. And it was, you know, he'd ask for a pint of Guinness, and he'd get the pint of Guinness, and the next one he'd get the bottle of Coke. And so at the end, he has another go, and for the tag, he asks for a gallon of lemonade and gets drenched.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was things like that. A lot of comedy, people are scared of getting messy anymore, I think, or they put a massive big splosh mat out like you see at the circus, and they put a tiny bit of custard pie on them, and you think, if you're going to get messy, get messy. You know, don't overbuild it up and not get messy.
I love that. I'll tell you one that I've seen done a couple of times, but it's one that I keep saying we need to bring back is the vessel and the pestle and the mortar, that one. You know what I mean? The poisoned chalice.
Yeah,
I like that one. But yeah.
Had a few dodgy pheasant pluckers, so that's a bit ill.
Yeah, we avoid that.
Oh, don't. We've got a terrible story about that.
Go on.
It was, I was in a room. It wasn't one of our shows, but I was in a room, and they were getting ready to do their show, and they were warming up, and there was children in the room as well, and they weren't very good at doing that rhyme, shall we say? Oh, it was very, very awkward.
Yeah, it's not awkward. Good.
Everyone sort of shuffled out sideways. What was I going to say? Oh, I like the, you talk about the diddly tree there. My favourite one is the, but we've never done this one either. It's the tree of truth. You sit underneath it and the thing falls on your head. Coconut.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
We haven't done that one yet, though.
No.
We need to put that in somewhere.
We need to get Rollo in. He's good at all those things. Them old shows. He likes all that stuff. Who else we got out there? Vet Pepper says love upon the stage. Such a great gag. Julie Red, wall gag. What's the wall gag?
What's the wall gag, Julie?
Falling off the wall in the song.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. It's in your advert, isn't it? Falling off the wall.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
It could be an advert of an insurance claim, couldn't it, really? Yeah.
Love it. All right, Ruthie, we've got time for one more this evening.
Okay, Tommy J has popped in. He wants to talk about your juggling that you mentioned that Andrew Van Buren had taught you. He wants to know, how did you find your first time juggling live?
Well, it was in a Catholic talent show called Pope Idol.
Is that true, or is that just a great gag?
No, the truth, yeah. And I juggled 3 balls, 3 scarves, and I couldn't ride a unicycle at the time, so I did a bit of Diablo, and I thought it was great. And that was my first gig. And I think the next day was like a kids' party, so it literally went from Pope Idol to the living room.
Pope Idol, that's brilliant.
That is literally the best thing ever. It just sounds like that's a gag, but somebody should make that into a TV show. Pope Idol.
Did you do it dressed as a pope?
No, unfortunately, no, they wouldn't let me.
But, so the only religious connotation was just the fact it was called Pope Idol.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh dear. That is amazing.
How's she do?
Yeah, well, that's good. That's what you should have called yours. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Pope
At least
Idol.
the audiences, I need to think of an excuse now when it's not a full house, because social distancing was working quite well for me because it looked quite busy.
Yeah. That's true. I have the same thing, so we can now fill a house. It's amazing. So mate, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you this evening. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in the competition, then jump on to Tom Rolfe Productions Facebook page, and you can get the details off there, or indeed we've got some links in the stream as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you all the best for your forthcoming productions once we can get back out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Rolfe, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. You're watching StageToStream.tv live from the Neverland Theatre here in the wonderful town of Skeg, Vegas. Thanks there to Tom Rolfe. Great to see you, and wonderful to see you getting back out there, and we're looking forward to getting these shows back on as well. Thanks very much for coming on. Of course, if you do want to get involved with the competition he's got running right now, jump onto his Facebook page, Tom Rolfe Productions, and get involved. Ruthie, Mary Poppins, what's that?
What's what?
What was that you were just drinking?
That was my squash.
Show us again.
Why?
Because I want to see what... That's massive. Let's have a look.
Why have you got the wet trumpets on?
Has that got a handle on it?
Yeah.
It's like a massive sippy cup.
It's not a sippy cup.
It is a sippy cup.
No,
it's like a
not.
child's sippy cup.
How dare you?
Look at it. It's huge. It's a massive child's sippy cup.
Well, it holds a litre. So,
Have you
2
got
of
your
those a
vodka
day.
in it?
No, I don't like it.
What, vodka?
Yeah.
Alcohol, do you?
No.
Don't drink.
No.
Don't eat wet food, hot food.
Yeah, it's true. Let's put this away.
Yeah, put your sippy cup away. There you go. So, there you go. So Ruth.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you all right over there?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we give people a quick reminder of what they need to do if they want to get social?
Whoa, just before we do, Harry Steadman,
Yeah.
definitely a child's sippy cup.
Thank you very much.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Get involved.
07510
with the sippy cup.
Followed by 891, then 005. Let's get social.
What was that number again?
That's 07510.
Of course.
Followed by 891, then 005.
Well, there you go. You see, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, no, that's good. So if they want to get involved and they want to get social this evening, all they've got to do is drop Ruth a message into her box, or indeed you can send her a message. You can jump on the chat. Yes, very, very exciting indeed. Pope
Yes.
Idol, it's still genius, absolute genius.
Idol. How do they? You wouldn't be allowed to do that nowadays, unless it was like a competition with popes with talent.
Who will be the next Pope?
Yeah, just line them all up and have a
From Derby, Pope Jean Paul.
from Derby.
Yeah, well, it's Pope Idol UK,
Right.
but he's actually
No, I
born-
meant
he was
when
born
they
in France.
actually choose the next pope.
That's
they
what I was
could-
doing, Ruth.
Right.
Jean Paul
From
was
Derby.
He was from Derby. He's
I
the
don't think that
Pope
would
of Derby,
happen.
but he's from Boulogne.
Okay. Just leave that there.
Yeah, just leave that there. It's fine. So yeah, that's good.
Hmm.
Happy days. Yeah, having fun over there.
Yeah. Do you know what? We've got a thing in the chats has popped up. Andrew Van Buren. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
He said, "Shout out happy anniversary to Rollo and Michelle."
Yeah, because they'll be watching now.
Happy well, they might be.
There might be. Well, Tommy can pass it on because he's watching.
That's true.
Yeah. So, Tommy, if you can just turn your volume up right
Really
now,
loud.
and we will say happy anniversary to Rollo and Michelle.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Just give him time to turn it up. There he is. Here we go.
Yeah.
And
Happy anniversary.
Good times.
Oh.
They're not listening.
They're not listening.
No.
But they might watch it later.
They might watch it later. Don't matter, does it? No. It don't matter. All right, it's almost time for our second guest. How exciting!
It is exciting.
Yes. Now, listen, if you want to get in, if you want to talk to Ruthie, she's over there right now.
Hello.
Yes, there she is in social media corner. Say hello, drop her a message. We want questions for JJ. This is very exciting. Our next guest, JJ, we're going to be talking to very shortly indeed. Time for something completely different. Let's take a little bit of a look at some of the work he does, and we'll be beating him after this.
I haven't been to Feel the Force before, and it's fantastic. It makes the films real, it makes the TV programmes real. It's just so much fun. It's good.
Feel the Force Day is a film and television convention that's been specifically designed to enable disabled people to come and have a brilliant day with no restrictions or barriers. My husband and I like going to film and television conventions, and we've got a friend who's deaf and blind called Jimmy. He wanted to come with us but found it very difficult to access things, so we decided to basically create an event specifically designed around his needs, and we've taken it from having 400 attendees to this year having 8,000 people expected to attend. As it's gotten bigger, we've needed a lot more volunteers to help us sustain it. This year, HSBC have given us all 2 volunteering days off, and a lot of my colleagues have decided they want to come along and help. 1, 2, 3, yay! This is similar to any other convention in the sense that we have got merchandise tables, cosplay, celebrity guest signers. Are they last going? What makes it unique is things that make it more accessible. So we've got touch tables, sign language interpreters for all the shows, disabled changing facilities. There's more room everywhere so that it's not so claustrophobic.
That is amazing.
It's absolutely fantastic for accessibility. I've not had any issues. I know Charlie hasn't had any issues.
I'm very happy, yes, because I can feel all the different things, yeah.
People understand your needs and everybody's friendly.
People are asking me for photos and their children are also in wheelchairs, and it lets them feel accepted.
It's been amazing having my colleagues here with us today. It's made such a difference. So many smiles on everyone's faces. Just to be able to bring that much happiness to so many people, that's what makes it what it is. Have you had a nice time this year, Zach?
Yes.
And do you think you'll come again next year?
Yes.
Fantastic.
JJ, how are you, my friend? Are you well?
I am well, thank you very much. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, you're coming through wonderfully. How's everything with you? Are you well?
Yeah, as well as to be expected.
Yes.
In the current situation.
Yes, it's been a strange one, and now we were just showing a little clip there before we meet you, showing Field of Force Day, which we're going to get into very shortly indeed. But before that, your backstory is incredible. Just tell us how you got into everything that you do now.
Okay, so pretty much started similar to yours, I would say. Teenage years, I used to go to the Orchard Youth Theatre, which was a local drama club that I went to when I was a teenager. Applied to be a Haven mate when I was 16. Got an interview call when I was doing my Art A level. So I did my Art A level, then I started straight away with Haven, like the day after. And when I got there, this was at Chesil Beach, Weymouth. They didn't have a kids' ents, so I didn't really know what I'd be doing. I ended up doing the kids' stuff. So I was 3 years at Chesil Beach, and then moved from there to Coomhaven, did one Christmas at Caister. I think I did about 3 or 4 years at Coomhaven. Then Treco Bay for a couple of years, then Presthaven Sands. So while all the holiday park stuff was going on, I went from children's entertainer to room presenter to, I think I did 1 year as Ents manager, but that was a bit grown up for me. So, yeah, so we banged that on the head. And then after that, that also got me involved with pantomime with Paul Hammond. So that started late 90s, and I think I did that for about 7 or 8 years. That led to touring panto, skin character work, so on and so on. And then I think it was 1998, I saw the film Patch Adams.
Yep.
And that sort of shook me about a bit and made me want to do more with people.
Yeah.
So I left the entertainment business, moved to Peterborough because I was with my partner here at the time. Ended up looking for work in the care sector. Ended up working for a charity called Deafblind UK. Got the job, didn't really know much about what I was letting myself in for. Assumed it would be with deaf or blind people. And then later found out that they were both. They were both. They couldn't hear or see. And this didn't click until my first day at work when they said, "Oh, you're taking this man swimming." And I'm like, hang on a minute. So he can't see and he can't hear, and I've got him for like 4 hours, and we're going swimming. And it was basically, it was a massive shock, but I just sort of got on with it. You communicate by a special type of sign language called Deafblind Manual, where everything is spelt out onto his hand.
Yeah.
So at first I was very slow and very pushy down on his fingers, and he was always moaning that it would hurt. So as time went on, because Jimmy, who's the guy that I used to work with, he takes like 60 words a minute.
Incredible.
So I can now fire it at him and it's not a problem. But when I started, obviously I'm counting it and working out what the letters are. And then obviously he's talking back to me. So I'm making mistakes but when I got into the pool, I just guided him to the steps and he got on with it. He just swam.
Amazing.
So when I started realizing and getting comfortable with that way of working, I noticed that there wasn't a great deal of quality of life. It was all to do with their disability, and Jimmy learned when he was 4 how to read Braille and how to cook and how to iron and all that, but there was no fun. There was no, having a few beers and dressing up stupid, or there was none of that. No life.
Yeah.
So I started to adapt magic and stuff that I had and done before, and sort of bring that into work. And that's when I started. The magic touch started in 2003, which was basically me adapting and using Jimmy and all the guys that lived with where he lived as guinea pigs to try stuff, because it had not, as far as I know, it had not been done before. It had not been. There's plenty of magic for deaf people and for blind people, but not both together. So that was something that I started on, and that was something that I did in my own time for me. And the same with the extreme clowning side of things, was basically encouraging them and helping them to access live entertainment. So I would write for show tickets. I would beg, borrow and steal for donations of 3 or 4 tickets so they could go to a show with an interpreter. Because although it's the law in supposedly, not all theatres offer you a discount or a disabled carer ticket. So someone like Jimmy would end up paying for 2, maybe 3 people because he needs interpreters. It might be a bit much for one interpreter to do the whole show. So, and then at the end of the day, he still can't see it or hear it, and he's got to pay for 3 tickets. And that sort of annoys me a bit. So all I've done, and all I've always done, is just tell people what the situation is, and people like to help.
Yeah.
And through that, I've done over 500 trips out to different shows, interpreting different things. And this has allowed guys to go and see things that they wouldn't normally be able to go and see because of cost, because of support, because of accessibility. And they get out of it whatever they get out of it.
Yeah. Now, I want to just touch briefly there, because you mentioned the extreme clowning. Now, just tell us a bit, because did you or did you not go to Russia?
Yes, I did go to Russia. You'll have to stop me, because once I start talking, I get very excited and I don't end.
The Russia thing is amazing, so go for it. Tell us about Russia.
So I got invited after seeing the film Patch Adams and realising that it was a real bloke. It was based on a real guy. I wrote to him and told him about what I did and what I was doing, and he would write back in the days of handwritten letters. And then he invited me on a trip, and I was like, okay. So there was 40 clowns, and they visited orphanages, care homes, cancer homes, AIDS clinics, everywhere and anywhere that would have them. We did a week in Moscow and a week in St. Petersburg. And that was, he invited me because spent a day at a deafblind orphanage.
Yeah.
And bizarrely enough, they understood me, which was weird because obviously they was Russian, but a lot of the signs I was doing, they sort of worked it out. And also, when you're playing the fool and you're not talking, it's what's the word?
Universal, isn't it? Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah.
It's universal. So, you know, I didn't have to talk in theory, but I did a couple of signs. But I took magic with me, and I was dressed funny, and it just sort of worked. But that was one of the lighter sides of it. Obviously, there was very dark sides of it that was like, you know, at the time. And then you come away from that, and we'd all get in the coach and we'd all break down because what we'd just seen was just like, this was like 2004. And it was like, oh, so I used to go off with Patchy's son. Patchy's son would have a video camera, and I would walk off to where they wouldn't take us. So they'd invite you in and they'd show you an area that they'd got all set up. But obviously there was other things going on elsewhere in the orphanage that they didn't want you to see.
Yeah.
And that's where I tended to go.
Yeah.
So there was one room with about 20 kids in, about 6 or 7, and they was tied up with tights. So their arms were tied behind their back, and they were being thrown bread.
Wow.
And if they caught it in their mouth, they ate. If they didn't catch it in their mouth, that was it till the next day.
That's insane.
And that was 2004. And you're in there, and you're in there to do a job, and you're thinking, God, this is awful. This is, you know, you're writing it, but you can't let that side out until you get out of the way because you're not there for that. So there was incidents where I was in a hospital and they were, people had been there 5 months waiting for equipment to turn up. And all their family are there. So all the family wait with them and they're just sitting around because there's only one of this machine and all the walls had, it gets worse, so brace yourself. The walls had excrement and blood and all sorts up them. It was like it had been shut down for like 100 years.
Yeah.
And then we'd just gone in. That's what it felt like.
And your job was to try and make people happy.
Yeah, basically, was to go in there and bring them a smile.
Wow. Because
they was, you know, they've been in there for however long. There was, you know, lots of single parent families. If the child was born with a disability, that the father didn't want to know, so they were left. The woman had to cope on her own. And it was just awful.
Horrendous.
It was, there was 2 weeks of that. There was, you know, there was fun times, but a lot of it was, and then when you come back, the day I come back here, I went to Morrison's the day after I arrived back in England, and there was a bloke and he was complaining that his Coca-Cola was too flat.
Yeah, it just...
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it puts it into perspective.
After I did that, it sort of shuffled everything around.
Yeah.
When I worked at the holiday park, it was, what I did was just how I was. I didn't realise I had a talent or a gift.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can hear your mum saying, "Oh, you're really good," but it doesn't matter. That's not important. And then all of a sudden, I started to realise that what I had could be used. It was important. So that's when I started to sort of gear more towards the disability side of things.
Yeah.
And then, so Extreme Clowning and Magic Touch still goes on. It's just me. There are a few people that help with Magic Touch that are based in Great Yarmouth. There's no money involved. I haven't got any money. People donate stuff and we thrive off of, you know, begging, borrowing and stealing, basically. But the magic stuff's really taken off because it's including people. I perform for disability groups and guys that are disabled, and I also perform with them.
Amazing.
So I have Jimmy, who's deaf and blind. He helps me. He's been an assistant. We did a tour for Sense and he helped with that. I did start a tour, was it last year or this year? This year, I think, but obviously it got cut short because of the Great Plague. With Jonathan, who's got cerebral palsy. So we sort of research stuff and adapt stuff. And although we can't do a lot of it, he can still be involved. And there's still ways of involving him. And, you know, rather than just seeing a disabled person and going, "Oh," and then sort of not acknowledging them, I do what we can to involve them as much as they can be involved.
Yeah, I mean, your work's incredible, and I mean, we'll talk about Feel the Force Day because I mean, I've come along to a few of them, and it just blows my mind every time. But Feel the Force Day, which is a massive, I mean, it just we saw in the video prior, you know, just how big it became over a few years. That had very small origins, didn't it? Of just the way it sort of, you know, that idea set in.
It was, once again, it was just me. And I used to work with this guy and he used to never left his flat. He used to listen, because he was blind, he used to listen to Star Wars, the original trilogy, on repeat, 24 hours a day. That was it. That was his life.
Yeah.
And beer. That and beer. That was what he did. So talking to him, and talking about the characters, I then realised that obviously he has no idea at all what they look like. What's Jabba the Hutt? Is he a person or what's a robot? What's he knew the voices, but he didn't know the different types of characters. And so then that got me thinking, right, I'll organise like a Star Wars Discovery Day where we can get toys and costumes. Some blind people get a lot from toys. Other people, it needs to be bigger. So costumes were better in the long run.
Yeah.
and I'll get 20 people that are visually impaired to come along and learn about Star Wars. So that was the plan. I had a local working man's club, as it were, which has now been shut down since, offer me a free hall, and they could put on squash and hot dogs and, you know, the normal cheesy stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't disabled friendly, the venue, at all, but it was free. So I didn't realize at the time it was just going to be 20 guys that were visually impaired. Then I spoke to Warwick Davis, that tiny guy.
Yeah.
He got involved. And then on the day, it was chaos. We had it just sort of, as soon as I mentioned that he was involved, it was all done via social media and it just went kaboom. And then I'm starting to panic because at first it was just me and a box of toys and a few blind guys. And now it's like, have you got St. John's ambulance? Have you got this insurance? Have you got, and I'm like, what? Have I got what? It was all getting a bit grown up to me. I normally sit in the corner and play with plastic shiny things, and that's me happy. So I put a call out and found a gem called Simon, who might be watching, who without him, the event would never happen. He sort of does the real work, and then I just sort of turn up and dress up like a plonker. But yeah, on the day we had over 400 people turn up, and it was meant for 20.
This was the first one. It had 400.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Wow.
The first one was meant for 20 people. The queue, it wasn't a really disabled friendly venue, so we had no disabled toilets. We had to let people in shifts because there was only, I think the capacity was 150 or something. So we had to let a load in, then get them out, then let the next lot in. And then at the end of that, we sat down and Simon was like, this has got legs. We can do something with this.
Yeah.
And then he's the one with the numbers. So each year, basically, we had to get a bigger venue and then a bigger venue. And it went up each year, went from like 400 to 2,000 to 3,000. And then the last one we did was just over 8,000 people.
Incredible.
And we have people from everywhere come because as far as events go for disabled people, there are events for disabled people, but it's all about their well-being and wheelchairs and colostomy bags and new hearing aids and, and it's like, well, that's not a day out. So there's nothing like a real day out. So this is sort of become the biggest leisure event for disabled people. But now it's got to the point where the last one we did was amazing because it was so big, but it was also, in my eyes, it was too big.
Yeah.
It lost that. It was sort of like going from working at Chesil Beach to then working at Primrose Valley.
Yeah.
It sort of lost that personalness, whatever the word is. So what will happen, I don't know, but it will continue in somewhere. I know that they're talking about, there's one in Aylesbury planned when COVID's sorted. And Peterborough, I think, will continue as far as I know. But yeah, it just went mad. It got huge.
And it's literally, it's costumiers and just everything to do with TV and film and they all come voluntarily for the day, interact. And the thing that I loved is the fact that those people that come know that, because you're dealing with blind people and people with disabilities, everything has to be tactile. You've got to be able to touch and, there's none of that. So I remember seeing, a beautiful R2-D2, and people going up and hugging it and touching it. And you're like, this wouldn't be allowed anywhere, but the fact it happens, and then your touch rooms, which are, just full of toys and props and all that sort of thing. And it's just incredible how it sort of escalated. And I remember I went as Captain Hook one year, and it was just the first person that came up to me was blind. And she felt my beard and Hook, and she was almost in tears because she went, I've never met the real Captain Hook. And I was like, this is just amazing, which is why I came every year. It just opens everything and, that perspective of everything. Amazing.
It's funny because of the nature of the beast. We look every year for to try to select the right type of guests, because obviously they need to be good with people.
Yeah.
It's not a money maker for them. Our guys just want to say hello. They might sell a few photos, but it's not like a London con.
Yeah.
So we sort of get them there and they do their bit. But for our guys, when they see Darth Vader, they see Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You know, when they see someone sat at a table that's somebody from Emmerdale, half the time that they don't really get it. It's not.
Yeah.
But to see a stormtrooper or a Disney princess it's a different level.
Yeah, and the diversity of people that come to that is incredible. You know, the different characters you have there, you know, from all genres. And then I remember, you know, the last one you did, just the outdoor, the car park, and you were like, I don't know what car parking is going to be like, because, you know, half the car park's taken up with things like the DeLorean from Back to the Future or the Batmobile, and, you know, there was a massive, you know, marshmallow, all these things that kind of, you know, that were there, and suddenly it's like it's insane. And then the fact that people were allowed to sit in the cars, which normally you wouldn't be able to do, just incredible work.
We spend a lot of time sort of researching, because obviously it's got to be right. And if they've got stuff, we go to the big London cons, and if they've got stuff that can't be touched, then we don't want to know.
Yeah.
Not everyone I want to touch it, but obviously for visually impaired people, to make it accessible, they've got to be able to access it. So for them, it's a must. Even if they just say, you know, we'll let the visually impaired people touch it, that's fine. And then you get other people that are like, oh yeah, it's not a problem at all. And once people experience Feel the Force Day, you only have to go once, then you're sort of, it becomes like a drug, I think.
Yeah.
It becomes like because you can do so much, and it means so much. Through lockdown, all I've had every day is people asking me when the next one is, you know, guys that sort of might not understand what's going on at the moment, and they're putting pictures up of, oh, I met so-and-so at Feel the Force Day, and I did this at Feel the Force Day, and it has become like massive.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible.
So it's just amazing, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I just want to briefly touch on this is you know, fascinating. There's so much we need to talk about, but we don't have that much time. We need to get you back for part 2, 3, and
That's
4.
Fine. We can do that.
But it's something when we were chatting earlier. Nice.
Sippy cup.
Is that sippy cup? I know
with a wine glass inside.
Is that actually wine?
Yes.
You don't drink much.
In a sippy cup. I know. It's wine-ish.
Wine, is it Ribena? I was going to say. One thing, when we were speaking earlier, you mentioned this, and I think, you know, this puts everything into perspective. Just for anybody who's having a bad time of you know, I
know what you're going to say.
I mentioned about Jimmy, you know, who's obviously deaf and blind. Tell me what you told, because I asked you earlier about, you know, had you managed to see him, you know, and how does that work this year? Tell me what you told me.
Right, okay. So I've seen him a couple of times, but he sends us texts via his support. So he tells his support that he wants to text us, and then he tells them what he wants them to text. And he got the virus in the first few weeks, which was a bit of a shock. But he lost his taste and his smell. So not only could he not see or hear, he then couldn't smell or taste anything for about 3 weeks.
Just incredible.
That's just pure evil. He's okay now, all is well. But meanwhile, talk about luck of the draw, poor bugger. But no, he's fine now. He's Jimmy. He's, you know, out and about, going for walks and still being himself and
yeah, he does have a very amusing outlook on life, doesn't he? Because you said about the mask.
Because he can't see. He wears the mask right over his face.
Amazing.
And he's quite happy to walk around like that, knowing that everyone's laughing at him and that his support will be thinking, oh, for God's sake. he turns up quite often with his support, and he's got his hoodie on back to front, and he'll cover his face with his hoodie.
Amazing.
He's not bothered.
I love it.
Not bothered at all.
Absolutely love it. So how have things been for you throughout lockdown? Because obviously, all the stuff you do as well, I mean, even the fact of having contact with, with the work you do and the people that's all kind of stopped. How's it been for you?
Yeah, I've done a few things if anyone from Club 73 is watching, for Club 73, a few magic bits and bobs and a few Zoom chats and things, but not a great deal, to be honest. It's been a nightmare for my mental health. It's been sort of up and down. So it's been like a day at a time. And when you're creative, it sort of comes in fits and starts. So one day you'll have like, oh, and then the next day you'll just be like, nope, not happening. So it's a day at a time. But, I'm still breathing. So
that's it. It's incredible, and an incredible story. I mean, just inspirational. Absolutely. I'm going to go to Ruthie. I'm going to bring Ruthie in on the chat.
This will be exciting.
Yes.
This is where it goes up a notch in intelligence.
Absolutely, and she's got her sippy cup as well. Hello, Ruthie.
Oh, lovely.
Hello.
That's a lovely blouse you got on, Ruthie. Do you keep pigeons?
Pigeons?
Yeah, I'll explain it later.
Oh, right. Okay. Gary's just done an action. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that action.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. How are you? All right?
Yeah, good, my love. Good. You?
Wonderful. Yeah, good. Thank you. We've got so many questions for you. And there's so much love coming in for you. You've been described as a national treasure.
Oh, that's lovely. Who's that, my wife?
No, she's popping in as well, though. We have got Claire here as well.
We should pop in. She was in the video at the beginning.
She was.
Doing all the intelligent talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, lots of love for you. We've got lots of people out there that are just popping in to say hi. We've got Paul Hughes. He remembers working with you back in Presthaven, 1999.
Yeah.
Bit of a throwback there as well. But yeah, lots and lots of questions. So one of the main questions that's being asked is obviously at Feel the Force, you have a lot of, it's all touch, isn't it? There's a lot of touch tables and things like that. With the dark cloud of the pandemic and obviously lots of hand sanitizing and things like that, how do you see that sort of working with Feel the Force Day? Is there any ideas behind how you're going to sort of tackle that problem, or is that still ongoing, or is it just bucket loads of sanitizer?
It will just be, everything is always cleaned anyway before and after. So with regards to doing one at the moment, I really don't know how that would work. It might be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Purely because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
There's like 30 tables of touch table stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that would work. We would have to think about that at a closer time. But yeah, that would be a massive problem.
Yeah.
Purely because of how much there is.
Yeah, of course. Okay, excellent. Right, okay, we want to know, what has been your biggest barrier or challenge that you've faced so far?
There's a couple of incidents. Okay, so one has been, one of the events we did was a burlesque evening for disabled people. That caused a bit of a hoo-ha because of the nature of the event. But in the end, we ended up having the town hall help, because basically they said if they didn't help, who would? So we organised a special evening for visually impaired people and adults with learning difficulties, and we had 3 specially hand-picked performers. We had a belly dancer, we had a traditional burlesque dancer that did stuff with feathers and tassels, and then we had a right down dirty strip act, basically.
That was you, wasn't it?
That was you, wasn't it, JJ?
In a nutshell. So it's sort of...
I've seen your costumes, JJ. That was definitely you.
It was... Now, every time I say this, obviously everyone goes, oh, yeah, of course it was. But it was one of my favourite events, because accessing sex and relationships for disabled people is obviously a problem. It's a problem for people that are not disabled. So when you get wheelchairs involved and the whole, oh, they can't do that because they're disabled, and people start sticking their oar in, it becomes like a nightmare. So to achieve that, and we did 2 of them, they were only small. I think we had about 10 to 15 people come each time to visit, to watch the evening. And they were really great. It felt like an achievement.
Yeah.
So that was a mission in itself. And then one year we announced that we was going to introduce horror characters for Phil the Fourth Day.
Yep.
And also that was a problem. People kicked off and said that it's a children's event. And it's not.
No.
It's not a children's event. So that was something that we got there in the end. But there's a lot of people putting stuff in the way.
And the crazy thing is, I was at that event when you first did the horror, the horror section, and there was more kids in there having more fun because it's Halloween at the end of the day. It's exactly what it is. It's It
was epic. There was a young lady, a friend of mine called Jilly. She's in a wheelchair. She doesn't speak. She's got like a ninja hand. So when you hold her hand when you're talking to her, she picks at it. So you have to keep your hand away from her because she's lethal. So anyway, she comes every year, and they sat her in there, and she didn't want to leave. She had a bat, and it kept flopping on her head like a rubber bat. Amazing. And that was it. She was happy as Larry, and she didn't want to leave. Every time they tried to pull her out, she kicked off.
I think when when you talk about the burlesque thing, and I know about the hassle you had with this sort of stuff, but people never, and I think you're one of the first people that kind of did this, that distinguished between somebody with a disability, but somebody who's of age. Do you know what I mean? Who still has the same needs as anybody else.
It's not like they're kids.
Yeah.
Come and bring your 15-year-old, your 10-year-old in and have a look at some boobs. It was like these are all grown-up men and women.
Yeah.
And one of I think it was the second one we did, we had a complete, this is bizarre saying this out loud, but it was epic. We had a completely naked pole dancer, and she would pose the positions so people could feel what she was doing that couldn't see her.
Amazing.
And it was just like, if I try to explain to Jimmy that a lady is pole dancing, that will mean nothing to him. Pole dancing, was she dancing with a pole? Is she holding a pole? Is she, there's no concept like we have.
Yeah.
So you have to sort of mend that by showing him proof.
Yeah.
Or examples. So something like that was, to me, was just like, wow. When we did Phil the Fourth Day, Rollo, he was there. Of course he was.
They're always there.
He was always there. Tommy wasn't there, though, thank God.
He will be now.
Rollo was there, and he did Punch and Judy, and we had it BSL interpreted. And that made me cry. It was just like little things like that. It was like, oh, that's epic.
Well, one of the strangest ones, as soon as you bring that up, one of the strangest ones that I ever saw was Steve Hewlett, wonderful man, but doing ventriloquism, and I was like, how do you translate that? Because who's talking without the lips moving? How do you do that?
Right, okay. So what I did was, first of all, I used the word vent. There's no way I'm spelling out ventriloquism to Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I explained what he did and what it was that he was doing. And then Steve let Jimmy put his hand over his mouth while he vented.
Amazing.
So Jimmy could hear with his hearing aids.
Yeah.
His hearing aids, because he's got cochlear implants, would pick up the speech like noise.
Yeah.
Even though he could feel that Steve's lips wasn't moving.
Amazing.
And that's another magic moment that's like, you wouldn't be able to do that anywhere else. But because of that, Jimmy now knows what a ventriloquist is.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing to see.
So, yeah. There you go.
And another wonderful person who comes and does what they do.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He was there. Yeah. He was there. And Nigel Harvey, he's been as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's in the chat. So amazing. Ruthie, you got time for one more? Because, it's been good tonight. Amazing.
Lots of questions. Okay, one more. Ideally, so what's the big dream for you? So if money was no object and you had all the resources available to you, what would you like to see on a global scale to help make things more accessible for everybody?
Basically, well, the Phil the Fourth Day is really popular. It would nice that it could be rolled out everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you could take aspects of that and put them into daily things. So, for instance, when you come and did a panto here, we made it 4D. So They could watch the show, they could hear the stories, they could meet the cast, they could feel the costumes, they could touch the props, they could stroke the puppets. We also did weather. So we had fake snow,
made it snow,
leaves,
didn't we?
autumn. We did as much, we give them as much as they could get out of it, if that makes sense.
Including, I have to point out, which was a beautiful creation, but it did make me wonder, you created smell jars.
Yes. Yeah, we did smell jars, and that was something that we was going to do every year at Feel the Force Day, but we always forget them at the last minute.
Yeah.
People have been making them for us.
Amazing.
So, and while we're on the subject of props and theatre, I interpreted puppetry of the penis.
I was gonna come to this. This was my final bit to come to, because this is the best story ever.
So Jimmy loves the theatre. So whenever we try to go, I try to get as much as I can, either information for him beforehand or for me, so I know what's coming. So puppetry of the penis is two gentlemen stripped naked making shapes with their genitalia. So I'm not going to sit there and let him play with my genitalia, although he'd probably laugh at that, but that's not the point. So I had to construct something that I could take with me as a prop.
Amazing.
That would allow me to copy what they were doing and then put his hand on it so he could feel it. And I had a square piece of I've still got it somewhere, a square piece of cardboard, which I cut a slit in. Through that slit, I placed a Speedo swimming hat. This would be the ball sack. In there went 2 ping pong balls, and then I brought a sticky rubber penis from the joke shop.
Amazing.
Now, I showed him everything that they did using that prop. And 2 weeks later, he said to me at the bus stop, "To let you know, last night I made a cheeseburger." And that told me that he'd understood everything that I showed him.
Amazing. And when you were doing that show, were they not watching you?
Yes, there was. There was watching me. And the people behind were like, "What the Nora's going on?" Because I had this sat there with it in my hand. But yeah, you do whatever it takes.
Amazing. Love it. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you this evening, my friend.
And you.
We definitely must chat more, because there's so much more to talk about. But in the meantime, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ, thank you, my friend. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Launching this Saturday, the 27th of February, Stage to Stream Radio, playing songs from the musicals 24/7. Plus, join us for live shows, plays, and much, much more. Stage to Stream Radio, launching this Saturday. Stage to Stream Radio, keeping theatre alive. Yes, very exciting indeed. Stage to Stream Radio is starting tomorrow. Stage to Stream Radio is starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. and it will run 24 hours a day. It's musicals and plays. There'll be everything on there. But if you like that sort of thing, then we're going to drop the link in here and we'll be pushing it out tomorrow as well. Just go to www.stagestream.tv and you'll see at the top a little listen now link. We're having apps created and everything else as well. We're just going for it. That's happening. Massive thank you to our guests tonight, Tom Rolfe and JJ. What an inspirational story that was. Absolutely incredible to hear all those little bits that go on behind. Ruthie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, have you been drinking your sippy cup with JJ?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Good.
It's because you haven't got one.
How amazing was that? What great stories.
I know, right? And it is such a big mission, isn't it? It's a proper operation, and he has everybody involved from his wife. His mum's making sandwiches. Everybody's getting involved, and of course Simon as well does so much work.
I mean, they literally work on that event all year. So, and it's all done voluntary. You know, as they say, they don't make money from it. They literally just pump everything back into it to build it to where it is. So, I mean, fair play to Simon and Claire and JJ. Amazing work to take it to that level. Just absolute inspirational. So, anything happening in social media? I see we've got Nigel Harvey there. Hi, Nigel.
Hi, Nigel. Chris North's jumped in. Everyone just loves JJ.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Donna Wood said, Donna Wood there saying seeing JJ in costume is good as he doesn't like clothes very much. Yes, there's many pictures of JJ just in weird costumes and a lot of the time just naked. That happens.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to follow Feel the Force Day, I've popped the link in the chat, so you'll have to scroll up. I'll tell you what, I'll pop it in again. Why not? Hop on there, give it a like, give it a follow, and give it a share as well. Because it is for everybody, and everyone needs to know about it as well. So definitely share it out there.
Yeah, amazing.
Sure.
Ruth, it's. I mean, the evening's flown tonight.
It always does.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We're back on Monday.
In
weekend
March.
Off. In March. We're back in March on
March
Monday.
already.
I know. But next week, we've got some amazing guests, including Robert Sherman. Oh, yes, which is very exciting. That's Tuesday, I believe, on the 2nd of March. Robert Sherman, his father, of course, also called Robert Sherman, was part of the Sherman Brothers, who created iconic songs from Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Jungle Book, all these kind of things, and worked very closely with Disney. It's going to be an incredible night. And of course, each and every night, we've got some amazing guests to talk to next week, haven't we, Ruth?
We certainly have. On Monday, we've got Miss Jessica Knox, and we've got Laura Turner is going to be here as well. So we've got some vocals.
Ladies' night.
It is. We've got some vocals. We've got some acting going on. We've got all sorts. We've also got Gary Dunn. He's going to be appearing next week.
Oh, Gary Dunn.
Gary Dunn's going to be here.
I should point out, Gary Dunn is my twin brother.
There you go. Both named Gary.
Yeah.
Ding.
No, he is my twin brother.
Is he?
Yeah, we're identical twins.
Oh.
Yeah, we were separated at birth.
That's nice.
Did you not know that?
No.
True story. Gary Dunn is here, and he's my twin brother.
Yeah.
And we've got pictures to prove it.
Nice. There you go. Who else have we got? Let's have a look. We've got Ricky Allen. He's going to be here as well. He's
Amazing.
the producer of a brand new show called Treason the Musical.
Ooh.
It's got a full West End cast. It's very exciting. Obviously, it was going to go live, but now it's going live online, so you can be the first to see it wherever you are.
The joys of COVID, but it's
it.
good to see people adapting and doing all these things and making these things work. Amazing. So, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, very exciting musical. Looking forward to that. We've also got George Strickland and, lots of other people planned to come on as well.
Fantastic. Oh, excited. It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah.
Ruth, do you have any... we need to, before we go, we need to hear your fun fact of the day.
Well, actually, I have got a very good one for you.
Okay.
Crocodiles can't stick their tongues out.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
Is that because their head's the same length as their tongue?
No, that's attached underneath, so they can
But
squash.
it's also the same length of their head.
Well, probably, but yeah. But if you think about
I did a mime there.
Falcor, he's got a long snout, isn't he? He's not a crocodile; he's a puppy, but he's got a long snout,
His tongue is ridiculous.
and his tongue just like rolls out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So that's the same length.
I've
isn't
never
it?
known a dog with a tongue so ridiculous. Like, if he tries to mlem you, it can get up
Yeah.
your nose and into your brain.
He does mlem your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lick the back of your eyeballs.
Yeah. It's horrific.
But no, crocodiles, they're attached underneath, so they can't. They can push it up towards the roof of their mouth to squash prey, but
right.
they can't stick their tongue out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know how interesting that is?
How interesting.
It's Ruth's fun fact of the day.
But it's not as interesting as...
Steel drums are our favourite drum.
Oh, they really are.
I know they are.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a good one tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. See you on Monday.
Yeah, see you Monday then.
Say goodbye, Ruthie.
Goodbye, Ruthie.
Yeah. Oh, there we go, Ruthie there. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure this evening chatting to you and entertaining you wherever you are in the world. Thanks to our guests once again, Tom Rolfe and, of course, JJ Lucia Wright, who's been with us this evening. We must chat more, of course, to both of them. It'd be great to have them back. Do have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, whatever you've got planned. Hope it's something exciting. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be making lights, Neverland lights. I'm doing that. Ruth, what are you doing?
This weekend? Well, I'm going to take the dogs on a mammoth walk tomorrow.
Ooh.
They get a mammoth walk a huge walk
on the weekend.
On the weekend. So that'll be tomorrow. Hopefully it's going to be nice and sunny.
And on Sunday, I'm going to be filming with Adam Fielding, Adam Fox, who was here with us the other night. We're going to be doing some wonderful things. Say goodbye, Ruthie.
Goodbye, Ruthie.
Hope you've enjoyed yourself. From us all here at the Neverland Theatre on stage2stream.tv. Thank you very much. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, 10 a.m, we're launching Stage to Stream Radio. Yes, if you want to pop on there, it's going to play 24/7 musicals. We're going to have plays on there and also guest DJs as well. So we're going to be allowing people to come and do guest DJing and stuff like that. It's absolutely fabulous. It's from 10 o'clock tomorrow. Jump on www.stage2stream.tv and have it playing the soundtrack to your life. Musicals and all such things like that. That's happening from tomorrow at 10. Of course, we're back on Monday at 6 p.m. from us all here at stage2stream.tv at the Neverland Theatre. Thank you. Keep safe. And until we can get back in the theatre, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. This Saturday, the 27th of February, Stage to Stream Radio, playing songs from the musicals 24/7. Plus, join us for live shows, plays, and much, much more. Stage to Stream Radio, launching this Saturday. Stage to Stream Radio, keeping theatre alive.